Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something meaningful. What did you actually do yesterday? No, seriously, what did you create yesterday? Because that's where your future is being shaped. Not in your hopes, not in your goals, but in your everyday actions. Success isn't random. It's not based on luck, and it's not even just about talent. Success is the outcome of small, consistent disciplines repeated daily. And failure? It's often just a series of small missteps in judgment repeated over time. Your life won't transform when the clock hits midnight. It begins to change when your habits do. So if you're waiting for the right time, stop. There is no ideal moment, only the one where you decide to take charge. Your routine is the design plan, your habits are the workers, and your outcomes, that's the life you end up with. In this video, we're not diving into theory, we're sharing practical truths you can implement right away. Because the reality is this, success isn't in the occasional big efforts. It's in the small, intentional actions you take every single day. If that resonates with you, then keep watching, because your future is already hidden in your daily schedule. Let's go find it. Your day reflects your entire life. Let's start with something simple, yet often overlooked. Your day is a reflection of your life in miniature. Yes, really. The way you live today is shaping your entire future. It might sound basic, but don't mistake simple for unimportant. If you want to get a glimpse of where someone's life is heading, just observe how they spend a single day. Life doesn't appear in 10-year blocks. It doesn't even arrive in years. It comes one sunrise at a time. Success doesn't suddenly appear wrapped in a ribbon. It builds slowly, hidden in your routines, your mindset, your choices, your conversations, even in what you do when no one else is watching. Here's the powerful part. If you can learn how to win today, you'll start winning your week. Win enough weeks and you'll win the month. Stack enough of those and you'll create a life of real meaning. Small actions are what create a big life. Here's something I learned early on. Don't put all your effort into things that don't matter, and don't ignore the small things that truly do. What you do first in the morning makes a difference. How you spend quiet moments matters. How you care for your body, mind, and relationships packed into a single day has impact. You may think today's just another ordinary day, but it's all you've got. You don't magically get to live a better life, you get to live a better day. And if you keep doing that, those days start building on each other, like bricks in a foundation. Before long, you've built something solid, something meaningful. That's what success really is. The formula for a winning day. Let's break this down into a formula. Something clear, repeatable, and reliable. A few early wins, a structured schedule, time carved out for growth and reflection, a commitment to giving back, and a brief review before the day ends. That's what a strong day looks like. And strong days build strong individuals. Now, you might be thinking, but I've got so much going on. Well, of course you do. Everyone does. The difference is how you handle it. Some people let the day control them. Others take control of the day. And that choice, it changes everything. Your routine reflects your true priorities. Want to know what really matters to someone? Don't listen to their words. Don't focus on their dreams. Look at their calendar. Their daily actions reveal what they truly value. If health is important, it will show up in their daily habits. If personal growth is a priority, you'll see time blocked for reading, learning, and self-development. If relationships matter, their schedule will make room for them. Don't just talk about wanting success, plan for it. Prioritize it. Protect time for it. Because the clock doesn't lie, it tells the truth about whether you're serious or simply wishing. You won't stumble into a great life. Let's be clear. Greatness isn't something you drift into. No one becomes successful by accident. You must live intentionally by design, not default. And that starts not someday, but today, right now. Today is not a warm-up. It's not a throwaway day. It is the game. How you spend it shapes your future. So ask yourself, did I use today well? Did I stick to my priorities? Did I grow even just a little? If the answer is yes, you're on track. And if not, be thankful. You've got another shot tomorrow. But don't keep wasting those chances. One day, you'll run out of them. Your next step, reflection. Let me leave you with a challenge. Before you go to sleep tonight, take a pen and a blank sheet of paper. At the top, write this question. If I lived every day the way I live today, what kind of future would I be building? Now answer it truthfully. If your answer energizes you, keep going. If it makes you uncomfortable, change something. Because transformation doesn't start next week or next year, it begins the next time your alarm goes off. And here's the good news. You don't need a giant overhaul. You just need one better day, then another, and soon your entire life looks different. Built one focused, intentional day at a time. Remember this, success isn't some distant place you arrive at. It's already here, hidden in what you do every day. Your morning sets everything in motion. If there's one part of your day that demands focus, discipline, and intention, it's the morning. Why? Because how your day begins influences everything that follows. You either set the pace or the day sets it for you. And that decision happens within your first hour. The momentum is everything, and it begins the moment your feet hit the floor. Think of it like this. If your day is a song, the morning is tuning your instrument. If your day is a structure, the morning is laying the first brick. If your life is a painting, the morning is the first stroke of the brush. Every single day, how you begin matters. Don't start your day without a plan. And this might sound unusual, but don't begin your day until you've finished it on paper. Don't just stumble into the day reacting to whatever comes your way. Plan it, shape it, decide in advance who you're going to be and what you'll focus on. When I wake up, I don't ask what's happening today. I say, here's what I'm going to make happen today. That's not the mindset of a wanderer. It's the mindset of a builder. And here's something many successful people know. They win the day before it even begins. They don't hope it goes well. They prepare to make it count. They create their day. Let's talk about the power of the first hour. I call it the golden hour, those first 60 minutes after you wake up. That time isn't for scrolling, reacting, or catching up on everyone else's life while ignoring your own. It's for building. Use it to fuel your mind, move your body, and define your direction. That's what high performers do. Read a few pages from a valuable book. Journal your thoughts. Go for a walk or hit a quick workout. Revisit your goals. Practice gratitude. Take a moment to breathe, reflect, and ground yourself. And do it with intention. Don't just drift through your morning. Own it. Laziness costs more than you think. Some people like to say, I'm not a morning person. But success doesn't make exceptions. Discipline isn't about being an early bird or a night owl. It's about being responsible. Here's something worth thinking about. When you hit snooze, you're breaking your first promise of the day. You told yourself you'd get up. You set the alarm and then ignored it. That's not just about missing a few extra minutes of sleep. It's about self-trust. So instead of starting the day with a broken promise, start it with a small win. Because execution builds confidence and confidence builds momentum. The morning creates momentum, and momentum works just like a snowball. Get it rolling early and it gains speed. Put it off and you'll feel like you're pushing uphill all day. So find a win early. Make your bed, drink water, complete a quick task, feel the win, stack a few more. Let momentum do the heavy lifting. Once it's rolling, the rest of your day starts falling into place. Some mornings are harder than others. But don't depend on willpower. It fades. Rely on rituals. A ritual is just a decision you've already made. It takes feelings out of the equation. It says, this is what I do every morning. No negotiation, no second guessing. Rituals don't care how you feel. They only care about what you follow through on. That's the trick, because most people wait to feel motivated. But winners, they move first. Motivation catches up after action. How you begin the day sets the tone. Rush through your morning, and the whole day feels rushed. Stumble out of bed, and your choices follow the same pattern. Start your morning in chaos, and don't be surprised if the rest of your day mirrors that. But when you begin with focus, structure, and intention, you bring that same energy into your work, your goals, and your relationships. The way you handle the morning reflects how you handle your life. So here's the challenge. Win the first hour. Take ownership of it. Protect it. Bring your best to it. Start the day with clarity, not confusion. Don't just wake up, rise up. Because the morning isn't just the start of your day, it's the start of your future. Let me share something that changed my path. Discipline. It may not sound glamorous, but discipline is the game changer. It's the structure behind your routine. It builds the bridge between where you are now and where you want to go. If you want a life that matters, you have to build it brick by brick, and discipline is the builder. Motivation is helpful. Inspiration is nice. But discipline is dependable. It shows up whether you feel like it or not. And here's what I've learned. The pain of discipline weighs ounces, but the pain of regret weighs tons. I made the choice long ago to deal with a little discomfort now so I wouldn't carry regret later. That choice made all the difference. One final idea. Discipline isn't punishment. It's a gift. It's permission to succeed. Discipline says, yes, I'm ready to pay the price for the life I want. You don't have to love discipline. You just have to value the outcome. You don't have to enjoy waking up early, but you can learn to appreciate the person you become by doing it. Here's something practical to get you started. Pick one small discipline, just one. Maybe it's waking up 30 minutes earlier. Maybe it's reading 10 pages of a good book. Maybe it's choosing healthier food or writing down your goals every morning. Choose one, then repeat it tomorrow and the next day and the one after that. It's not about doing everything at once. It's about doing one small thing consistently, because small disciplines, when repeated daily, lead to big results over time. It's the power of compounding, not just in money, but in effort. There's something powerful that happens with every disciplined act. Your character strengthens. Each time you do the hard thing, even when you don't feel like it, you build credibility with yourself. And that self-trust becomes a kind of superpower. When you trust yourself, you don't need permission or external validation. You've got clarity, and that clarity creates confidence. At its core, discipline is self-respect. It's your way of saying, I care enough about my future to act now. It says, my goals are real. My word matters. My matter. Discipline is how you declare belief in yourself, loudly through your actions. And if no one else believes in you yet, that's okay. Start by proving it to yourself. Show up, do the work, keep the promise, because something transformational happens when you do. Discipline becomes identity, and identity changes everything. A lot of people think discipline is limiting, but the truth is, discipline creates freedom. Want freedom with money? Discipline your spending. Want freedom in your health? Discipline your daily choices. Want more control over your time? Discipline your schedule. The people with the most freedom usually have the most discipline because they're not reacting to life, they're leading it. So here's the challenge. Become someone who chooses discipline, not just when it's convenient, but especially when it's difficult. Start small, build momentum, stack the wins, and understand this. Every disciplined day is a deposit into your future. Before long, your habits will feel natural, your routine automatic, and your life will begin to transform. Why? Because discipline is the builder, routine is the framework, and you are the architect. Let's make a commitment. Starting today, be stronger than your excuses. Be louder than your doubts. Be disciplined enough to do what needs to be done, even when nobody's watching. Because in the end, discipline builds the life you truly want. And that's a cost worth paying. Now, let's talk about what you allow in. Inputs create outcomes. There's a phrase that changed my perspective forever. Stand guard at the door of your mind. Because what gets in, your thoughts, your influences, your content, will eventually come out in your words, your actions, and your results. What you allow in, what you read, listen to, watch, or dwell on, shapes who you become. Inputs create outcomes. You can't plant corn and expect to harvest wheat. And you can't fill your mind with negativity, gossip, and distraction and then expect clarity, motivation, and purpose to show up. Doesn't work that way. Garbage in, garbage out. But wisdom in, that's a different story. Because when you input wisdom, you output wealth. Discipline in, confidence out. New ideas in, innovation out. But you have to be intentional. Your mind is like a garden. Seeds are being planted every day. You may not be able to control who shows up with seeds, but you can control which ones you water. That's the trap of busyness. Activity without accomplishment. It's a cycle that looks like progress, but leads to burnout, not breakthroughs. Because busyness is often a disguise for distraction. It feels like you're getting somewhere, but you're just spinning your wheels. Productive work is different. Productive work is intentional, it's aligned with your goals, it moves the needle, it gets results. The real question isn't, did I stay busy today? It's, did I make meaningful progress? Did I move closer to my goals? Did I complete something important? Did I focus on what matters most? Because success doesn't come from how much you do, it comes from what you actually get done. That's why high achievers don't worship the to-do list. They don't chase tasks, they chase outcomes. They don't just fill their calendar, they filter it. They ask, what's the highest leverage thing I can do today? And then they protect their time to do it. Let me give you something practical. The 80/20 rule. It says 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. So stop trying to do everything. Start doing the right things. Identify your top priorities, the few tasks that make the biggest difference, and make those non-negotiable. Schedule them, guard them, finish them before anything else. And don't confuse urgency with importance. Just because something is loud, demanding, or blinking on a screen doesn't mean it deserves your attention. The real work, the meaningful work, is usually quiet. It's deep thinking, it's strategy, it's creation, it's the hard stuff most people avoid. But that's the work that separates the successful from the busy. Here's a question worth asking every morning. What is the one thing I could do today that would make everything else easier or unnecessary? Answer that, and then do it. That's productive work. That's focus, that's progress. So don't just be busy, be effective, be intentional, be relentless about doing what matters. Because at the end of the day, it's not about how much you did, it's about what you built, what you moved, what you made better. Busyness is a trap. Productivity is a weapon. And when you wield it wisely, you win. That's the trap. Being busy instead of being effective. And it's an easy one to fall into. Why? Because being busy feels productive. It gives you a sense that you're making progress. But genuine success isn't built on appearances, it's built on results. Here's a phrase worth remembering. Never mistake activity for achievement. Think about a farmer. They don't just walk the field all day carrying a shovel. They plant, they water, they harvest. They focus on actions that yield results, not ones that just burn energy. That's what separates productive individuals from the rest. They know the difference. Now, here's the real key to productivity. It's not about doing more, it's about doing the right things consistently. This is where the 80/20 principle comes in. Roughly 80% of your outcomes come from just 20% of your efforts. So ask yourself, what's your 20%? What are the select few tasks that genuinely move things forward? Identify them, guard them, prioritize them. Because when your focus is on high impact work, your time starts to produce meaningful results. Productive people plan their day around what matters. Busy people fill their day with stress. Productive people ask, what's the one thing that will make the biggest difference today? Busy people ask, how can I get through this list? But long to-do lists can be misleading. They give a sense of progress, but if those tasks don't bring you closer to your goals, it's just wasted motion. So start cutting back, simplify, do less, but do it better. Now, don't get me wrong. This isn't about avoiding hard work. It's about working smart and then putting in effort where it counts. Don't just stay busy, get focused. Don't just tick boxes, make breakthroughs. Don't spend your time, invest it, because every minute spent on low-value tasks is a minute taken from your future. Here's how to shift into real productivity. Identify the high-value activities that bring the biggest return. Eliminate or delegate the rest. Don't just deal with distractions, remove them. Block time for your priorities. Schedule them like appointments with yourself. Reflect weekly. Ask yourself, what did I actually accomplish this week? When you start operating this way, everything changes. It's not just about doing more, it's about making a bigger impact. Not just putting in effort, but rising above the noise. So here's the big question. Are you busy or are you productive? Because it's not about how much you do, it's about what you complete and how much of it actually matters. In the end, rewards don't come from running in circles, they come from delivering results. So don't just fill your day, build your future. Productive work always outperforms busy work. You have two options: plan your day or react to it. Here's a simple philosophy that can change your life. Either you run the day or the day runs you. Every morning, you're given the same opportunity to lead your day or chase it, to take control of your time or be buried by distractions. And here's the truth. Those who consistently win, they don't leave their day to chance. They plan, they prepare, they design it with intention. I often hear people say, I don't like planning. I prefer to go with the flow. But here's the danger. That flow can lead you off course. Because if you don't have a plan for your life, someone else surely does. If you don't define your priorities, you'll end up serving theirs. And if your calendar isn't filled with purpose, it will fill up with noise. Without a plan, the day will consume you. One quick call turns into 3. One scroll becomes half an hour. A single distraction takes over your morning, and before you know it, the day is gone. Don't let your time slip away. You can't afford to treat your time casually because the way you spend your day is ultimately how you're spending your life. Here's something practical for you. Never start your day until it's finished on paper. Before the sun rises, before the calls start, before the world pulls at your attention. Finish your day in advance. Ask yourself, what needs to get done today? What's essential, not just urgent? What will bring me closer to the life I want? Write it down. Block your time. Create your strategy. That's not just planning. That's leadership. You see, planning isn't about being rigid. It's about clarity. It's about waking up with a mission, not just grabbing your phone and hoping everything falls into place. Hope is not a strategy. A plan is a strategy. A clear direction is a compass. And when you've got that, you're not blown around by every gust of wind. Let me tell you what planning really does. It protects your priorities. Without a plan, everything feels important. And when everything feels important, nothing gets done. But with a plan, you walk into the day with purpose. You say no more often. You stop reacting and start responding with wisdom. And remember this, don't find time, make it. Carve it out, assign it, own it. I'll be honest with you, planning takes effort. It requires thought and discipline. But let me ask you, what's harder? Planning for 15 minutes in the morning or wasting the entire day because you didn't plan? The small effort of planning saves you from the bigger cost of confusion, and that's a trade you want to make every single day. Here's my challenge to you. Tonight, before you go to bed, take 10 minutes. Don't just make a list, design your day. Decide what's going to matter. Decide what's worth your time. Decide who you need to be before the sun rises. Because if you don't decide, the day will decide for you, and chances are it won't choose well. Let me leave you with this. The unplanned life is a reactive life. And a reactive life is always behind, always overwhelmed. But the planned life, that's where you take control. That's where you start creating results on purpose. So don't let the day manage you, you manage the day. Because once you start running your days, you start running your life. Now, let's talk about the power of small wins. Let me share a principle with you that can change everything. You don't need a huge victory to change your life. You just need a small one, repeated. That's the power of small wins. Success isn't about the grand slam. It's not about the $1 million deal or the huge transformation overnight. Success is built in layers, not leaps. Small wins, quiet victories, steady progress. That's how you go from average to excellent, from stuck to unstoppable. People often ask, how do I get motivated? Let me tell you, don't wait for motivation. You create it. And how do you create motivation? Win something, even if it's small, even if it's ordinary. Make your bed, read 5 pages, go for a walk, say no to the donut, send the email, clean your desk, speak kindly when you don't feel like it. That's a win. And wins build confidence. Confidence builds momentum. And momentum, that's when life gets exciting. One of the greatest feelings in the world is progress, not perfection, not applause, just progress, just knowing you're making progress, getting better and showing up. Those small wins might not make headlines, but they create habits, and habits create futures. Let me give you a secret. Stack your wins early. Win the first hour, win the morning. Doesn't have to be something big, just consistent. When you win early, your brain gets the message. I am a person who follows through. You carry that identity into every choice, every meeting, every moment. Small wins change how you view yourself. And once that shift happens, everything else changes too. Now, a word of caution. The world doesn't celebrate small wins. The world celebrates results, but what it doesn't see is what really matters. They see the transformation, but miss the tiny steps that built it. But you know that the person who wakes up at 6 o'clock a.m., the person who tracks their spending, the one who says no to excuses and yes to discipline, that person is already winning even before the results show. So don't wait to be celebrated. Celebrate yourself every time you choose growth over comfort. Here's how to put this into action. Start each day with one small, winnable, make it specific, make it doable, then do it. Keep a win log. Write down your wins at the end of each day, no matter how small. Say this out loud. Today, I did what I said I'd do. That simple sentence builds trust with yourself. And when you trust yourself, there's nothing you can't do. You know what else small wins do? They make the big wins possible. The business grows because the emails were sent. The body transforms because the workouts were done. The mind sharpens because the books were read. The life you want is hidden in the small decisions you're tempted to skip. Don't skip them. Let me wrap this up with a challenge. Starting today, commit to the win. Not the perfect day, not the perfect outcome, just the next win. Stack them, celebrate them, build on them. Because small wins lead to big change. They reshape your confidence, rewire your identity, and redefine what's possible. So go, win something today, tomorrow, and the day after that. The life you want isn't waiting at the finish line. It's being built, one small win at a time. Evening is for evaluation and preparation. Let me share something most people miss. How you end a day is just as important as how you begin it. The morning sets the tone, but the evening, that's when you take control of your story. Evening is your time to reflect, review, and renew. It's your chance to step out of motion and into meaning. Without this time, you risk living the same day repeatedly without ever learning or improving. If you want to grow, stop rushing to the pillow. Instead, meet yourself at the end of the day. Here's a phrase to keep in mind. Don't just finish the day. Harvest it. You've put in the hours, you've done the work, you've moved through conversations, tasks, and choices. Now, ask yourself, what did I learn? Where did I grow? Where did I fall short? And what can I do better tomorrow? That's how you turn experience into wisdom. Success doesn't just come from what you go through. It comes from what you learn from what you go through. But that only happens when you pause and reflect with intention. And don't worry, this doesn't have to take hours. I'm talking about 10 minutes, 10 quiet minutes at the end of the day to ask questions like, did I follow through on what I said I'd do? Did I waste time or did I use it well? Did I speak with kindness? Did I act with discipline? Did I move one step closer to the person I want to be? That's what the evening is for. Not for guilt, not for judgment, but for clarity. You can't change what you don't confront, and you can't confront what you don't stop to notice. Let me give you another key idea. The evening is also for preparation. You know what kills momentum? Starting each day from scratch. But what creates powerful momentum? Laying out the next day before it begins. Set the closeout. Review the calendar, write the list, define the goals, decide tonight who you're going to be tomorrow. Why? Because clarity tonight creates confidence in the morning. You sleep better, wake better, and move faster. You don't start the day wondering. You start the day winning. Here's what I like to say. The day belongs to the one who prepares for it. And when you prepare in the evening, you give yourself a head start on everyone else stumbling out of bed, trying to figure things out. You don't need more time. You just need to be ready for the time you have. That's the power of, let me be real with you for a second. Most people waste their evenings and they numb out with noise, fill their heads with distractions, go to sleep drained, not directed, and then wonder why they wake up with no drive, no energy, no clarity. The evening is your launch pad. What you do between 8 o'clock p.m. and 11 o'clock p.m. determines how strong you'll show up at 6 o'clock. I aming. So guard those hours, make them sacred, use them to review, renew, and get ready. Here's your action plan. Take 10 minutes before bed. Review your day, ask questions, write what you learned. Write down 3 wins, no matter how small. Acknowledge your effort. List your 3 priorities for tomorrow, not 20 things, just the 3 that matter most. Visualize your next day's success. See yourself focused, calm, and in control, winning. Do this for a week and watch your life begin to transform. So here's the big idea. Don't just live your day, harvest it. Don't just sleep through your evening, use it. Because your future doesn't just begin in the morning. It's being built the night before. And the person who ends the day with purpose will wake up with power. Take the time to evaluate, take the time to prepare. Because how you end the day determines how you begin the next one. Habits build identity, and identity drives results. Let me give you a life-changing truth. Success isn't just about what you do. It's about who you're becoming while you do it. That's right. Habits build identity, and identity drives results. What you do every day shapes who you are, and who you believe you are will determine what you do next. So if you want to change your life, you have to change your habits, because those habits, those little daily disciplines, they're not just what you do, they're what you become. Now, here's the catch. You can't outperform your self-image. You might dream of being successful, you might talk like a champion, but if your habits say otherwise, your results will follow those habits. You can say, I want to be healthy, but if your daily habit is fast food and soda, that's not who you are, it's just who you wish you were. So the goal isn't just to set a goal, it's to become the kind of person who achieves that goal. And that, my friends, starts with daily choices. You want to know who you really are? Look at your habits, not your intentions, not your words, not even your vision board, your habits. Because what you do repeatedly reveals who you believe you are. If you write every day, you become a writer. If you exercise every day, you become an athlete. If you read every day, you become a learner. If you invest every day, you become wealthy in wisdom and eventually in wealth. And here's the magic. The more you do it, the more natural it feels. Before long, your identity shifts. You don't have to fake it, you just become it. Now, let me give you something to hold on to. Discipline is how you cast votes for the identity you want. Every time you follow through on a good habit, you're casting a vote for a better version of yourself. You're saying, this is who I am now, and that vote counts. It might be small, it might be silent, but it adds up. And eventually, your mind starts to agree. Your beliefs shift, your confidence grows, your actions multiply, and identity takes root. And once it's in, you don't have to force it anymore. You live it. So if you want better results, don't chase outcomes, shape your identity. Ask yourself, who do I want to become? What does that person do every day? And am I doing it right now? Don't just say, I want to be a leader. Ask yourself, what does a leader do every morning? Then do that, because being precedes doing, and doing reinforces being. Now, let me warn you, the old habits will fight to stay. They'll whisper, you've always been like this, just this once. No one will know, but you will know. So when the moment comes, choose the identity you're building, not the one you're breaking free from. Every habit is a vote. Vote wisely. Let me wrap up with this. You don't become great all at once. You become great gradually, habit by habit, day by day. And you don't need to wait. You don't need permission. You don't need the perfect plan. You just need to act like the person you want to be until that person becomes your reality. Because in the end, habits build identity, and identity builds everything else. Stack days, stack decades. Let me tell you something simple but powerful. A successful life is just a string of successful days stacked together. That's it. No secret door, no magic switch, just ordinary days done extraordinarily well. You don't need a miracle, you need a method. Stack the days and you'll stack the decades. Because how you live your days is how you live your life. Now, most people don't see it that way. They say things like, oh, it's just one day. I'll start next week. This one won't matter. But it does matter, because every day counts. Every day is a vote for your future or against it. You can't live a disciplined life without living a disciplined day. And you can't live a purposeful decade if you're wasting every afternoon. Success doesn't show up one day. It accumulates. Just like failure, it sneaks in quietly, one excuse at a time, one skipped workout, one wasted hour, one broken promise to yourself. It doesn't feel like much in the moment, but over time, it builds a story. And the question is, what kind of story are you stacking? Let me give you a picture. Every day is like a brick. Now you can toss that brick aside, or you can place it carefully, intentionally, right into the foundation of your future. One brick doesn't look like much, but keep stacking, and before long, you'll have built a structure called success, or you'll end up with a pile of regret. So what'll it be? Build or neglect? Because you don't get to choose whether you're stacking days. You only get to choose what kind of days you're stacking. Now, here's the beauty of it. You don't need to win the year. You just need to win today. Do that enough times, and one day you'll look up with 10 years of proof that you become a disciplined, focused, consistent human being. And the compound effect of that, it's unbelievable. But it all starts now. See, the future isn't built in the future. It's built in daily repetition. It's hidden inside the next hour, the next decision, the next routine. Stop waiting to have it all figured out. You don't need 10 years of clarity. You just need to do the right thing today. Get up early, move your body, feed your mind, finish the task, speak the truth, honor the plan, then do it again tomorrow and again and again. That's how legacies are made. Let me ask you something. What if you lived today like it was a page in your biography? Would you be proud of how it reads? Because whether you like it or not, the pen is in your hand and you're writing with every decision. Stack enough intentional days and you'll look back with no regret, only momentum. Here's your assignment. Don't chase 10-year goals. Chase 10 solid Tuesdays in a row. Show up, stay consistent, do what matters most today, and let the days build the decades. Because once you realize the power of one good day, you'll stop looking for hacks and start building habits. Let me leave you with this. Stack days, stack decades, stack a legacy. Your calendar is your construction site. Every check mark is a brick. Every routine is a beam. And your future, it's the building you're working on. So lay it down today, then lay it down again tomorrow, one block at a time. Because if you stack the right days, your life will rise like a masterpiece. Design your days, design your destiny. Well, here we are. And if there's one thing I hope you walk away with, it's this. You are not the product of your circumstances. You are the product of your daily choices. You don't need a new year. You don't need better luck. You don't need someone to hand you a golden opportunity. What you need is a decision to design your day with purpose, to live your hours with intention, to stop letting life happen to you and start making life answer to you. Because here's the truth. If you design your day, you are designing your destiny. You see, success doesn't show up in one big moment. It shows up in a series of small, often unseen moments. Waking up early when you don't feel like it. Choosing the book over the television, saying yes to discipline and no to distraction, finishing what you start, honoring your time, protecting your mind, stacking those wins one quiet day at a time. And every one of those small moments is destiny being built, brick by brick, hour by hour, decision by decision. So don't just drift through your life hoping things will change. Drive it, direct it, design it, because drifting is easy, but it always leads you off course. And make no mistake, if you don't build your day on purpose, the world will hand you its plan. And trust me, it won't have your best interests in mind. So get serious, get clear, and start now. Let me ask you, what would happen if you designed your next 7 days with full intention and really sat down, planned, prioritized, protected your time, filled it with discipline, with learning, with growth, with action? Just 7 days. Do you think your results would look different? Do you think your confidence would feel different? Do you think your identity would start to shift? You better believe it would. Because when you control the day, you start believing you can control your life. And that's when everything starts to change. So here's the final charge. Don't just wish for a better future. Schedule it. Don't just hope to succeed. Design your days to make success inevitable. write the plan, honor the schedule, stack the wins, do the work, and when it gets hard, and it will, come back to this. My days are my destiny. And if I master the day, I master my life. That's the mindset of a builder. That's the heartbeat of a champion. That's how you go from survival to success to significance, because in the end, your future is not found in fate, it's found in the calendar. It's hiding in your routine, it's waiting in your decisions. So take the pen, write the story, design the day, because when you design your days with discipline, you design a destiny worth living. And my friend, you are worthy of it. Let's get to work.